My name is Noel Dickinson and I'm coordinator for the Breadfruit Institute. We are standing in the regenerative organic breadfruit agroforestry demonstration here in McBride Garden on the island of Kauai. It's great to grow breadfruit in Hawaii because breadfruit is well suited to Hawaii as a traditional crop of Oceania, a staple crop at that. And because it's a staple crop, the fruit you can eat for any meal of the day. So you can eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As far as choosing a location, you want to be mindful that it is going to be a tree. As such, it's going to have a pretty big crown spread. We call it a crown spread, or kind of size of the tree is going to be a little bit big, so you might not want to put it right on your fence line so that you can get to all the fruit once it starts to fruit in 3 to 5 years. Once you plant your breadfruit tree, you'll need to kind of, I call it baby it a bit. And you do that by adding mulch around the tree and making sure that you have some companions or at least some protection from the wind and the really hot radiating sun for the first 1 to 3 years or so while your tree really establishes itself. And once it starts to establish a pretty sizable canopy, it will be able to stand on its own 2 feet and you won't have to kind of watch the mulching and watch the irrigating so much. Breadfruit absolutely need full sun. They also need a well-drained foot or area where you're going to plant. Make sure that it's not consistently saturated because that will slow the growth of your breadfruit. So it likes full sun, but like I mentioned, in the first 3 years or so, it actually would be okay to have it be partially shaded and then kind of open up that shade as the tree gets older. Breadfruit, as you see them here, you know, these trees are about 10 years old, a little bit more than 10 years old, and we don't necessarily need to irrigate them at all, but when they're first planted, that first kind of window of juvenile state, or like 1 to 5 years, you need to water your breadfruit pretty regularly and make sure that it's watered but it's not saturated. And once it gets past that age, then you pretty much don't need to worry about watering it unless you're noticing you're going through a drought, your area is kind of going through drought, then you may want to water your tree. So some things to consider when you're going to plant your tree and like in the long term want to harvest from your tree, you might want to consider employing or getting the services of an arborist to help you manage the height of your tree so that you can actually harvest your fruit without having to climb the tree for safety reasons. I think the main thing with breadfruit is managing them to a size that's reasonable for your yard and kind of acceptable for you, but also to manage the height because they will be tall. Sometimes they will get really tall, and to manage the height so that you can actually enjoy your fruit for years to come. So there's a lot of resources online. The garden in particular has some resources on tree care, breadfruit tree care specifically, right on our website. We also have some information about varieties, common varieties you may encounter here in Hawaii, and some recipes. So yeah, go to our website and definitely utilize those resources.